Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be drawing a koi fish. And before we start, I just want to show you the pencils that I'm using. I've introduced a new pencil, which is this. This is by Kainur, and I haven't extended because it was getting so short. And it's quite dark. It's got a darker pigment than the 6B General's pencils. And the usual pencils I use are the charcoal white, 4B, 6B, and the medium. Okay, so let's get down to it. So I use the medium to sketch the outline. So as you know, I have a smartphone. I'm in tablet, which I'm using as a reference for this image. Again, focus on, just purely focus on the shape and form initially. So all you have to do, shape and form, and then the details can come later. So make sure you got the body right, or near or nearabouts, as much as possible. Koi fish are wonderful fish that most people have in their tank, or no, I don't know if it's tank, but outside. I know my sister has a large pond outside, and we had koi fish there. She had koi fish. One of them just passed away recently, with 20 years apparently. It was sad. So the relative eyes, and we can zoom in on the details when we need to. Not that I'm just using charcoal, but I've also used colored pencils, mainly pastels. And for beginners, I would encourage you to keep it simple and just use charcoal, because then the only tone you have to worry about is black and white. And once you get a real understanding and improve your drawing skills, then it's probably wise to go to color. And I've done some portraitures using chalk pastels, which you can check out. So let's put this in the middle here. So I think it's generally, shape looks good, and then this fish has a lot of dark patches to it and very light white. So I'm keen to use some of the white that I have. And then of course, you know, the dark, to get even more dark to the whole image, I'm going to use that Koh-i-Noor pencil I talked about earlier on. So we're just focusing on getting the tone now. Now that we've got the shape, let's get some tone on it. Starting off with the lighter tone, doesn't have to be dark. I'm trying a different approach here. Sometimes it depends on the subject you're working with. So there is no hard, steadfast rule that you need to work in a particular way. I would encourage you to experiment whatever seems to work for you, and then but keep in mind every drawing subject kind of a different approach to the way you do it. Could be, for it then becomes a little bit more instinctual, I think, with time. So I know this is the dark region, and there's a dark area around the eyes. So let's zoom in. I'm actually zooming in on the head now because I want to get some more shape and detail around the mouth. Aside from its eyes, we have the two nostrils here. It's a medium, so I can actually use medium to define some shading. Let's try this new pencil I told you about. I can see how dark this thing gets. It's pretty impressive. Because we're talking about tones, so it's important to understand that this high degree of darkness and then the tonal bandwidth can be quite large for your giving it more impact. I think if you've seen other YouTubers, they will keep talking about focus on tone. And it's no different here. And then get contrasting images. Don't focus on detail, too much detail. Don't make it look flat, and the way you don't make it look flat is definitely to use higher tonal bandwidth, which is because you notice that it's so fragile that since I sharpened it with the electric sharpener, it's actually broke. 'Cause I told you it's brittle. That's the problem with these pencils, is that they need to be used with sensitivity. You need to use a knife to really so before the nib completely breaks on me, I'm just going to lay down the dark. Then I don't have to worry about it, and the rest I'll use the general pencil to finish off. So just getting the dark tonal values, which I couldn't achieve with the general pencils. even the 6B. Got this beautiful black tone to its body, to this fish. So this whole thing pops out just with the black alone right now, and we haven't even gone halfway into the drawing. Okay, of course the eye is very important. Let's see if there's any. There's a casting a shadow here, but I'm not going to be doing the outside here. So now that we've done that, let's move on to the white, and so you can see how that tonal value creates an impact. Because we're on grey tone paper, it's going to create a big, hopefully an impact on the overall drawing. This is the general's white, and you'll see for yourself that this is really the case. I mean, this is just the right subject. Okay, so I'm just going with the brown. Remember, we're going to create depth, we need to give it some kind of a shape, not the same uniform color, because in nature it's rarely just one stick of colors. It's like it's tones. In fact, I don't know if you know some of the history. Tonalism was introduced early in this last century, and was used by some very famous artists, and they in fact made a movement on tonalism. But then in the French, in the European side, Impressionism came into effect, which really completely dwarfed tonalism as the way. But still, I mean, there's a lot of artists even today that actually use, and it's a great way to learn. I mean, your art material, subjects you do, doesn't have to just employ tonalism. I mean, it can be abstract, impressionism, surrealism. It's really entirely up to you, and the more you experiment, the more you'll appreciate which direction you're leaning towards. Okay, so belly side here. I'm going to try and use a blending tool as well. So let's go ahead, use some blending to give a little bit of uniformity to the surface. So here, see even the white showing up, you can still blend it, and it seems like a continuation, not like abrupt one boundary to another, but like a continuation. So let's go back to some dark. I mean, I may need to go with some dark. Yeah, give that a little bit more solidity. No, that's where it is. The dark is quite dark and it's sitting right on the top. So that's what I'm trying to achieve here. Not like an afterthought, but a real intense dark. Oops. Unfortunately my nibs, because I use the electric sharpener I was telling you about, the nib is practically coming off, but I'm using it in an upright manner so I can still get some life out of it. And maybe we'll go over with the oops, there it goes, all gone. But no worries, let's use it. As an artist, you should not despair. I can still use this fine little nib here and still save face and continue working. In fact, it gives me another ability to do some scrumbling, which is really what's needed this drawing. That's it's almost like a pastel quality. This charcoal, it's got a lot of granules that come up. I like those because it allows me to blend those granules into the paper as well. Okay, put that in. Let's just go over it with the white. Okay, again, focus on the intense areas. Just give it that effect. That's a good thing about general. One advantage, it rarely breaks. But then again, you shouldn't ignore those other high quality, dark pencils which can be used to good effect. But I press down when I have to and I lift off, so it's not just applying the color, but it's also applying pressure at the same time. So keep that in mind, because that's another level parameter that improves your drawing skills. See, different pressure, got more white and less white there. See, all these little things make up the look of what we're used to this fish. We know this is a shallow, sharp, so we want to, this is the hard shell here, so we want to create that effect if we can. than that. And sometimes you don't have to do it with exactly to the reference, although I do have a habit trying getting it exactly. Sometimes when you stray from what it's supposed to be, you can actually be creative with the drawing and bring out some effects, you know, which actually makes the drawing look more interesting than the original. But you know, initially, but if you're starting out, try and get to what it is. See, with the white here, I can lighten this brown. It's not like putting down white. I'm just taking away some of the darkness. That's the way to look at it. Take away some of the I think I can say that was probably done. So we'll just close off here. In fact, give some around the eyes as well, don't forget. Because the eyes have a little bit of 3D quality to it. Okay, and then don't forget the nostrils. Okay, I think that should be okay. Let's just put my initials on that. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how easy it is to draw a fish, no time at all. And hopefully, yeah, please come back and subscribe to my channel or give me a little thumbs up if you like this video. I am uploading videos daily, so check out for more, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.